இதோ பாக்குறேன்.
Okay.
Okay. No main.
So I hope my voice is audible before starting the session.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, it is audible.
Yes, sir.
Fine. And is the screen is also visible to everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
it's visible.
Yeah. Screen share, entire screen. Okay. Fine. So we'll continue with our second session in which we are supposed to discuss on the statistical analysis and the data processing required for statistical analysis. Okay. So as Mem has pretty well explained regarding the various aspects of a statistical analysis, I'll just go through the slides very quickly, and then we will move towards the hand-on session on that statistical analysis, like how we can do it in MATLAB. So as Ma'am said, like once we have the normal distribution, then there are some cases in which the distribution is quite symmetric. In that case, the mode, median, and the mean, it both will be same. Okay, but there are some cases like in normally, like in real time, most of the cases goes like left skewed or right skewed. So basically, what is this left skewed? See, if any distribution, say I take a very basic example, say suppose the salary of all the teaching faculties, okay, and the other person also, like who are attending this online session, okay, so and if I plot a salary distribution and somehow Mukesh Ambani come to know that it is a very good session going on, so why not he also join, and he comes into it, okay. So here the salary distribution, in the salary distribution, Mukesh Ambani alone will be having like many times fold the salary of the entire, if we combine, okay. So in that case the mean will shift towards like where he is lying, okay. So if we treat the x-axis as the salary distribution, then in that case we will face a situation of right skewed, where the mean, so here mean is basically a center of gravity kind of a thing, okay, or the central point, okay. So it will shift towards Mukesh Ambani's salaries, okay. So it will be right skewed, okay. So here the median will be just the central distribution of the particle, but the mean, that is the center of gravity, okay, or CG same, that will shift towards the right side because of inclusion of Mukesh Ambani, who is like acting as an outlier, whose salary is quite high, many times than the average salary of the other person, okay. And in some cases, we also face like left skewed, where the minimum value can go sometime very less compared to the on an average distribution of the other. Okay, so in that case, we see left skewed cases. Okay, so in the left and right skewed cases only, we see that mean and median are not equal. Okay, because as ma'am said, median is the central distribution particle. Okay, and mean is the actual value computed over that and taken the average over the entire distribution. And obviously mode is the particle that is showing most in the distribution or the highest frequency attained by that observation point. Yeah. So here's a pictorial description of how, like in a symmetrical and a non-symmetrical, how it will be. So in an unsymmetrical, you can see like majority of the area of this graph, okay, is being covered in the right side. So the mean is shifting towards the right, or we will call it as a right skewed problem. And median, it is just the central point of the distribution. And mode is the like the maxima, the global maxima, we can say, okay. Or here, because it is a normal distribution, so it's just a maxima. Now let's take the practical aspect. Suppose take a weather data, okay, and 1 minute. Yeah, so here we have a weather data. Okay, let me show you what data we have. And over this data, I'd like to perform some statistical analysis. Or first I will show you the data pre-processing part, which is required, after which we only go for the statistical analysis or machine learning model, everything. Okay, so this data is quite good because here, like all the fields are quite filled with data, but there are some cases in which we take the data from internet or from other source. So there what happens, sometime some field information are not there. Okay, so what I will do here, I'm going to randomly delete some points. Okay, so in order to show you how you can deal with such problem also. Okay, so randomly I'm going to delete some field from this data. So this is basically a weather data which contains the minimum temperature of that day, the maximum temperature, rainfall probability, and ev- evaporation in that day, sunshine, wind speed at particular timings, at 9 a.m., 3 p.m., like that. Okay. So I guess total amount of data here we have is 356. Okay. So how we can work with such kind of a problem? Let's see. I hope my MATLAB script editor window is also visible to everyone. Okay, fine. So what I will do, first I will import that Excel into MATLAB using XLS read command, which we have already used from last 2 sessions. So XLS read, and I'll pass the weather, this thing, weather CSV. Okay. Let me run this in order to show you like what kind of data actually I'm importing. So here, as I said, the problem with XLS read is that it will just going to import only the numbers. Okay. So, but what I did in the Excel, I have removed some cells or some fields. So let us see what those fields are represented once we import into the Excel. Okay. Are they replaced, or 1 minute, it is not showing anything. Let me cross check whether I have opened the correct file or not. It is in SIRT Bhopal, weather data. Yes. Okay. So actually here I have to delete it. I accidentally deleted in the other file. Yeah. Okay. Save it. Do you want to keep using this format? Yes. Close. Save. Yes. Okay. Now again, let's check into run again this command. Okay, so here you can see the fields which are deleted, it is replaced with a NaN, that is not a number. So which tells us either it is an empty field, okay, in that table. So if we perform any computation over this, obviously it will give us error, right? Because there are some elements which are empty, okay, and which are replaced as an NaN. So no mathematical operation we can perform over such thing. So first we have to eliminate these cases, which are quite practical cases which we acquire in our daily life. Okay. So in MATLAB Life Editor, we have lot many feature which can help us in doing this task. Okay, so here I'm introducing you with one feature which is there in the task menu. Okay, so if you see in the code section, you have this task, and if you click on this task, then there is a toolbox called data cleaning toolbox. If you click on this toolbox, it will enter the entire code just below the line where you have imported the Excel. It will take another just few seconds. Yeah. So here we have some options, and this says that uh, which one we are interested. Say suppose I'm interested in this column, the third column. Okay, because here I can see there is one data NaN. Okay. So okay, before doing this, let me uh, 1 minute. Let me clear all the variable from the RAM, because there are too many variables loaded from our previous session. Now I'll run it. Okay. Data preprocessing. Select input A. Okay, it should be below. Yeah. select input A, and now it gives me an option what I exactly want to do with the missing data. Okay, because here there are more than 5-6 missing data. So I have options like I can either eliminate the entire row from the observation. Okay, so that whatever the new row will be created, it will contain only the data provided by the source. Okay, or I can use a filling method using linear interpolation, in which we can just take the neighboring element, take their average, and put the new value created inside that missing data. So first I'll go with the removal method. Okay, remove the missing data and fine. So once I did this, in the last or the bottom triangular notch, MATLAB will give you the command also, like what command you can use it in order to clean the data. So just I have to copy this piece of code. Okay, and now I can, if I want, I can delete this toolbox which is embedded here, and I'll paste here. Okay, so rm missing is the command which will eliminate all the entire row, okay, having any column or field which is missing. Okay, and whatever the outcome of that operation, it will be stored under the clean data variable. So say suppose here I named it as data. Okay, and the missing indices will give you the at what indices it find the missing values. So now if I run it, then you will see there is one. Okay, let me remove the suppression, and now it will give you data. And now you can see there is no missing. Like here, if you see at the last column, we have a missing value, but now there is no such missing values because it has eliminated. And how we can say that it has eliminated? Just look at to the size. Initially, the size of A matrix, total 355 observations were there for the weather data, right? But now, because I have only removed 5 data from different location, so it has completely removed all those row, and now I have left with only 350 amount of observation. Okay, I hope it is clear to everyone, like how you can deal with the missing data. So this way, and here it gives the missing indices also, like the row number 2, 3, and 4, like this. And they contain some missing data in some column. So, but this information is not required for us because already we have pre-processed the data, and now we can apply any algorithm over our data field. Okay. Now I'll put this thing in comment, and I'll show you the other method to deal with the missing data, because sometimes what happens, in order to create a good mathematical model for machine learning and deep learning, okay, especially for the deep learning, you are required to provide ample amount of data or data in large quantity. But sometimes we face a problem where we don't have the data in large quantity. Say our data is only 50, 20. Okay. In that case, we cannot go for elimination of the complete observation or the row. Okay. Fine. So in those cases, we better go for an interpolation or some other technique through which we can fill the missing data with a dummy value. Okay. So now that one I'm going to discuss how we can do it. So again, go to your task, click on the toolbox, select your table, which is A in my case. And here I would like to select a method which is called fill missing. Okay. So in fill missing, I have these many techniques. Like I can fill the missing data with say some constant value. Okay, and maybe this constant value can be your mean calculated over that row or something like that. Or I can fill it with just the previous value what it has acquired. Okay, or with some nearest value again, or linear interpolation, which is widely used. Okay, or moving median or moving average. Okay, so these are like some of the mostly widely used techniques through which people generally fill out their missing fields with some dummy information. Okay, so here in this case, I'm going to use linear interpolation technique, and just I have to click downside to get the code. Okay, so fill missing data A, and the parameter I have to pass is linear. So this will do the part for me. Okay, now I'll delete this part. Okay. and run this section. Okay, again, I have to delete the suppression in order to show you. Okay, so now here you can see the change. In this case, we can clearly see that there is no difference in the total number of observation. In the A is equal to 355 into 16, that is 355 total observation. And clean data also has same number of observation. Okay, just it replaced the NaN part with the linear interpolation technique. Okay, so this way you can deal with the missing data. Okay. Now, as ma'am said, like how you can calculate the mean, mode, and various, it is the same technique. Just kind of a, I will just go through and I won't waste the time in that because it is already discussed. Okay, so mean over A will give the mean of all the this thing. Better I'll take clean data, and this one I'll replace with D. Okay, so that it will make my overall faster. Yeah. So here we have the mean of everything, and now I can take the median also in order to see just whether it is skewed or not. Okay, median of D. Okay, so yeah, it is right side skewed here. Okay, and here in this case, it is like left side skewed. So there is skewness. It is unsymmetric in nature, not a symmetric one. So similarly, what ma'am has already discussed, you can apply all those techniques also in order to get the those mathematical statistical numbers. Okay, now I'll directly go to the outlier, like how you can deal with the outlier problem. Okay, and what are basically outliers are. So let's take cleaning the outlier data. See, the word itself gives the meaning. Okay, outlier, which is lying outside. Okay, but lying outside of what? Lying outside of some acceptable range. Okay, or some bandwidth. Okay, say suppose any signal we give that should be in a particular bandwidth. Okay, if it crosses that bandwidth, that signal is not acceptable to us, right? So those signal we treat it as a kind of outlier. Okay, so same phenomena can happen in a real life example also. Say suppose there is a person working in a corporate company. Okay, for that person there is a particular bandwidth in which he can take the workload. If you give him more amount of work which is outside of his tolerance, okay, that person will show an abnormal behavior. Okay, so same thing outlier also do. Basically outlier just shift the mean or the center of gravity or any CG towards their self. Okay, so they can somewhat distort the physical meaning, okay, of the hidden data or the general trend because they create biasness. Okay, so let's see first. Okay, so what I will do first, see, I'll first plot one domain of D variable. So say the first domain was temperature something. So I'll take all the number of observation and I'm interested in the first part and this only I want to plot. So run this section. Okay, so here you can see the temperature distribution. No, this is not temperature distribution. Let me cross check. It is something else. I'll go to data, weather data. Okay, yeah. So this one is minimum temperature. Okay. So the first one is minimum temperature. So better I'll take 2. That is the maximum temperature. And run this. So here we have the maximum temperature distribution. Okay. Throughout the 355 days. Okay. So in this case, let's see. Okay, it is asking me to select the domain. Okay, so what I will do first, Control C, I'll put this information into say max T variable and plot max T. Okay, run the section. And here in the input data, I'm going to put max T. Why didn't evaluated max T? Okay, maybe I have to plot it with respect to the number of observation I have. So say max t is equal to num-el, number of element, or just the length command. 1 is to length, length of uh, d colon comma 2. Okay, and I want it to be represented in a row fashion. So this one I'll make it, okay, later on I'll make it, and this one I want to be plotted in a other graph. Okay, and this one I'll put a bracket, square bracket. I'll put right now this one into comment, and then let me run this one. uh, okay, dimension of array being concatenated are not consistent. Okay, let me check first what amount of data this is giving. Okay, it is giving me 1 is to 16. Why only 16 data is there? It should give somewhat more. Okay, wait. Max t is equal to d, take all the row and second number of column. That's all. Yeah, so here it is giving perfect. Fine. And now I want day distribution. So day is equal to 1 is to number of element I can take inside max t. How many number of element are there inside the max t element? That will be my day distribution. Okay, and I'll take the transpose of this day. So day is equal to day t. Okay, and this one will be in quotes. Fine. So now I'll just merge this two data into a new variable. Say g is equal to day comma max t. Okay, so here I have a day-wise distribution of the maximum temperature, and now this one I'm going to put it inside my outlier to see. So in x-axis I take day, and so before doing it, let me plot this part also so that you can know what exactly is going on. Okay, plot G, take all column versus first, comma, plot G, taking all rows with respect to second. Yeah, so this is the plot. So in the outlier, dealing with outlier, first, let me show how it looked like. Clean method, deduction method. Okay. Data cursor, fine. Display result. Okay, so first of all, it is asking either I can replace the outlier or remove the outlier. Okay, but in order to do that, I want to first show the outlier. So detection method, say in detection method, I take the mean, and the mean of the, say, I take mean at a threshold factor of 4. Fill outlier, this one, do none. Okay. Control C, and after this, Control V, and run this section. It don't have any effect. Okay, so here I'm not able to show it on the same output window, just the process or the output I have to show it. So I take a removing method of outlier using a median method, and I take a threshold, say 4, or lower threshold if I take say 2. Okay, it is processing right now. Let's see, do it have any effect on the present graph or not? Actually, MATLAB is right now is busy in the background. So once it, yeah, you can plot this data. Okay, let me stop. Maybe it went in a hang mode. Yeah, stop. Sometimes such problem occurs. Let me press Control C. Yeah, now it is working fine. Okay. So we can see there is no effect with such threshold. Okay, 1.2 into this, it has effect. Moving median better I will take. Input is G, fine. X-axis day, cleaning method is remove outlier. Visualization is not supported for input G. Okay, 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 fine. Then what I will do, I'll take max T. Okay, and here X, I'll keep it default in order to show the visualization. And moving median, yes. Now visualization is not supported, and run this one, stop. Again, I have to press Control C. Yeah. So basically, whenever your MATLAB goes in hang mode, press Control C in order to stop whatever background work is going on. Okay. So here it shows that it cannot show the visualization for G, which I have created. Okay. So what I'm doing right now, I'm taking a particular feature column. Okay. Say suppose the maximum temperature, which I have stored in max T variable. Okay. And the moment I do that, you can see here that MATLAB is showing you a graph. Okay, let me delete this one unnecessary part. Okay, so here MATLAB is showing you a graph. Let's take it out in order to make it more visible to you. Don't worry, I'll repeat this step because of the hang problem. Maybe it just break the continuity of our. Let me take it out. Sir, can we use Control plus Z to stop the process? No, no, don't use Control Z. Press Control C, because that method will help you in any case. Okay. Um, Okay, I don't know why the graph is not coming out, but anyways, yeah, here, oh my God, it's fine. No, I have to click. Yeah. So here we have the graph. I'm putting on a full screen mode so that everybody can see. So here, the graph with a light blue color, that is the actual graph. Okay, where you can see like MATLAB has created two gray color boundary. That is the bandwidth. Okay, like moving. I think moving median I have taken in this example as a removing outlier method. Yeah, moving median. Okay, similarly I can take moving average, which is also called as moving mean. Okay, so what it does, it will take the average of first 15 and whatever number is there, that will be put it as an modified output. Okay, so I take this one out. So this one for the moving median. Now this one we have evaluated for moving average. Okay, again, it is getting slower. Let me again stop the process. Yeah, actually what happens now, like if you, yeah, I'll remove all this thing. If you click multiple times, then sometimes it go in hang mode. Okay, so here we have a 15 period moving average of the actual. Okay, so as I said, the light blue is the actual data. Okay, over that data, it took the 15 period moving average. Okay, and that average, obviously if you are taking average of any number, obviously it will be having the lesser value between those outer the maximum limit and the lower limits, right? So with respect to that, okay, if any number is exceeding the bandwidth which we have specified in the input condition, that will be treated as outlier. Okay, so here you can, whatever points you see with a cross symbol on it, all these points are outliers. Okay, and because as I said, why we want to deal with outlier, because the outlier has both the effect, positive and negative effect. Okay, but generally it has a negative effect most of the time. Okay, because it has a nature of like changing the average or the general trend towards itself. Okay, if it is going up, then it will change the trend towards itself. Okay, so it can cause deviation from the true result. Okay, so that's why we want to manipulate the outlier data with some techniques. That technique can be again interpolation technique, or filling with a constant or the threshold amount. Okay, so any technique we can deploy. So now say, instead of removing the outlier, I want to fill the outlier with some techniques. Okay, so imagine if I use a constant value, and here it will give me like what constant value I should do it. So let's wait, it should give. So these are the filled outliers, the orange dot. Um, Life editor. Okay. How it has any relationship with the Bollinger brand? Yeah. Uh, Bollinger Band 2 uses such kind of a technique. So you are directly correlating this with the trading indicators. So in trading, it has a positive, like outlier gives you a alert that this time you can enter into the market and play in opposite direction to get the profit. Okay. So here you can see the moment I change it to a constant value, now MATLAB have given me one option in which I can give or pass the constant value through which the all outlier will be replaced. So by default, it is 0. So that's why you're seeing a spike touching the 0 axis line in the right side of the graph. Okay, but if I make it and say if I give on an average temperature, which is 28 degrees Celsius, okay, 28, yeah, and hit enter. Enter. Eight. Okay, it will take some time to process and then show the graph. Okay, so basically what I will do, I'll move with the interpolation technique, which is like widely we use this for such problem. Okay. Is it possible to identify which data is outlier in the dataset? Yes, it is possible. And whatever cross symbol which you are seeing here, that is only the outlier. And now you can see, yeah. So here's is the, if I replace all the outlier, let's take it out so that it can, like, it will be more visible and I can show you. So little bit we have to wait because I don't know why in the second half the system is working little bit slower than to the compared to the other days. So we'll wait here. See, if you are able to see the screen, then whatever cross symbol which you are seeing here, especially at the top and the bottom part, all those cross are representing outlier points. So with the method of the moving average, whatever threshold we have passed, with respect to that, MATLAB can easily calculate where are the outliers. Okay. And once you find out the outlier, then you can decide what approach you can deal or take in order to manipulate the data there. Either you can use interpolation or you can remove the outlier with some constant value. So it is up to you. Not in the graph, sir, in the Excel data. See, right now what you did, you import the data from the Excel, correct? And MATLAB in its environment told you that these are the outlier points. Okay, once you come to know that, then later on you can save the file like these are the outlier points. And don't to save also, like you can do the further processing and whatever new data you created, the clean data, okay, that data you save or again you write in a different Excel file. Okay, so whatever we are doing, it is the data has been taken from the Excel file only. Okay, like we haven't manipulated this data with anything. Okay, so here you can see, let me zoom it to the full screen because right now I have taken, remove the outlier with a constant that is 28 degrees Celsius. So it is showing like the graph has changed and it is showing the orange line, the orange dot are the manipulated data. Okay. So as I said, we generally take this technique, linear interpolation or spline interpolation. These both techniques are widely used for dealing with the outliers. So the Bollinger band or the double bandwidth, which you are saying, the upper gray line and the lower gray line, it has a threshold factor of 1.2. So whatever moving mean value you are getting, so it is calculating outlier with respect to this. So that value multiplied by 1.2 times, if any value is greater than 20% of that moving average will be treated as outlier. Okay, so again, if I change this threshold value, again my number of outlier will change. Okay, maybe for someone the threshold can be 1.5, like 50% greater data, or 200% greater if any data is greater than or deviating more than 200%, that he will treat as outlier. So this is the deciding factor on which we are deciding which is the outlier. I hope I have cleared the doubt of Dhanalakshmi, participant. And it is possible to identify data in outlier in the Excel. Yeah, the doubt is asked by Dhanalakshmi. Okay. Yeah, so here it has used a spline interpolation technique and now you see the graph. So here you can see the outliers. Let me even zoom this graph. Okay, so here you can see the 3 cross, okay, because they are 20% above the moving mean average. So these 3 observation are treated as outlier, these 3 cross. And what MATLAB did, it manipulated all the 3 point with the orange one using the spline interpolation technique. Okay, so it is quite close to the acceptable bound. Okay, so in this way we can further process the data, because sometimes the outlier treated as noise also, so we can reduce the noise in this way. Any doubt from participant up to here in understanding like how we are actually doing the process, or should I repeat it once again, the outlier process? Okay. Okay, so I'll continue the session then. No doubt is there. Okay, please repeat. Fine. Okay, so once again, also I'll repeat the session, what exactly we have done, because from English, I'll cancel everything, cancel this. Okay. So in line number 3, first we have what we did. We just load the entire Excel sheet having an observation of 355 days. Okay. And it contained all the data like wind speed, temperature, humidity, and everything. So out of which the second column data contained the maximum temperature. Okay. So I have extracted that field from the weather database. Okay. And I have stored it into a max_t variable. So this max_t contained the maximum temperature throughout the 365 days observation. Okay. And over this, I want to perform an outlier enhancement algorithm or removal or whatever you say. Okay. Or data processing part. Okay. So how I can do it? First, what I have to do, I'll go to the task and I'll select the data pre-processing, that is clean outlier data toolbox. And here I'll manually tune everything as per my requirement. And later on, this toolbox will give me the entire code. Okay. So just we'll wait a little bit till it loads. Yeah. So here in the input, first I'll select the variable on which I want to perform the outlier cleaning. Okay. So this is my max_t. I select here max_t. Now the cleaning method. Say suppose in the cleaning method, I want to deal with the filling of the outlier with a linear interpolation technique. Okay. And before filling it, I have to tell MATLAB like what is the algorithm through which it can decide whether that observation is an outlier or not. Okay. So to detect the outlier method in the detection method, I can choose any method. Okay. Because it is a continuous sequential data. So in this case, the best method will be to go for a moving median or moving average. This same technique will be applied in a trading platform also, because there also you get a sequential data. Okay, on daily basis, what is the price of some commodity? Okay, so there also you will always go for either moving median or moving mean. Okay, so say suppose in this case I take a moving mean method. Okay, and now here I'll put that in my case, on what basis I'll treat it outlier. So any data which is greater than 30% of the moving mean, that will be treated as outlier. Okay, so now MATLAB has detected all the outlier and filled it with the linear interpolation technique. And if I want to get the code, what I can do, I can click in the show the code, and here MATLAB created the entire code for me based upon that. Okay, and I can just Control C, copy this entire code and paste it below. And I can select this toolbox because I don't want, and that's all we are supposed to do. So it saves a lot of time because you don't have to code it. Okay. to copy it. 1 minute. Let me copy it. Yeah. Fill outlier command, Control C, and I'll paste it here. And I can delete this one, toolbox. So now we have created these many code just with few clicks, and here's is our output. So this is our output. So the cross which you are seeing here, these are the outliers, and these are the upper and lower 30% bandwidth which are acceptable, and any point going beyond this or lower than this bandwidth will be treated as outlier. And this outlier, we have like used linear interpolation technique to manipulate the data. Okay, so I hope now everybody is confident how they can use or deal with the outlier problem. Okay, fine. So yeah, okay. Now what is left? Find local maxima, local minima. Okay, this one also you can use. So this will, what it will do, find the local maxima and local minima. First, let me save this one. So clean data 2. So I have to use clean data 2 in order to use it. See here, all this line, like after this is just used for plot. Okay, so if you don't want plot, you can delete. Okay, the main code is this, line number 8 is the main code. Okay, and it says that it had stored the data into clean data 2 variable. So I'll copy this code and say here I want to perform, let me put a section breaker. Over this, I want to know like what are the local maxima and minima. Okay, so I can go to the task, go to the local maxima and minima. And here again, I'll select clean data 2 on which I want to perform. And here it will give you an triangle spikes, which you can see. So all this triangular region are either the local maxima or local minima related to that sequential data. Okay, so I've clicked on to show you on the screen. It will take a minute to plot in a separate graph paper where I'll show you this thing. Yeah. So here we have, and it gives a total count also, like throughout the 365 or 355 interval of days, total number of extreme we find is 84. Okay, so this 84 include all the local maxima and local minima. Okay, sorry, here you are getting only the local maxima, not the local minima. Okay, so in order to find the minima, just you come here in the extrema type, and if you want the both, then you can select maxima and minima both. Okay, so maxima is shown in a orange color triangle upward, and minima is shown with a yellow color triangle with downward tip. So I hope this too is clear. And the same process, if you want the code, just click on the triangular notch on the show code, and it will give you the entire code for it. So these are the codes, that's all. These 2 lines, top 2 lines, and rest other is just only for the visualization part. Okay, like how to put a marker of triangle with orange color, or how to put a marker of triangle with downward tip with a yellow color. Okay, so this way we can know what are the this thing. And now I can delete this part and run this section. So here I have a list of entire sequential data with all the values of local maxima and this thing. 1 minute, not this one. I have to remove the suppression. Where it is. Okay, yeah, it is processing. So the command for that is local max. If it is true, then only it will be showed. If not, it will be eliminated. So any doubt up to here in understanding the pre-processing part on the data, because that is very important process, which people generally ignore this thing, okay, and they directly generally go for the machine learning or smart application development. But pre-processing is required before you go for this thing. How to export this data? Okay, I'll tell you. Fine. Yeah, so there is only one doubt, like how we can export the data. Okay, say suppose I want to export this data, which is called clean data 2, which is the processed table on the maximum temperature data. Okay, so see how we can export it. I want to say export it into an XLS file. Okay, so I'll write imwrite, sorry, XLS write. Imwrite is used for writing the image file. So XLS write, give the name of the file in which you want to store the data. Say in my case, it is maximum temperature data or processed to give more. Okay, and its extension will be XLS. So this is the file name, comma, and I want it to store the value clean data. That's all. And now it will create a this thing. Yeah, it will create here a file. So right now you can see there is no Excel file with processed data, right? So now if I run this piece of code in the live editor, it will going to create an Excel file. So let me run this section. Okay, so now MATLAB has created. So you can see here, there will be some Excel file just created with this name. Here it is. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so now I'll go to the folder and I'll show you. So here we have an Excel file. If I double click, so you can see here the entire data arranged in that way. Okay. So I hope your doubt is clear. Madhusudan, the participant. Okay. Can we find outlier for higher dimensions data? Yes, yes. It doesn't matter. If you know on what basis you are calling that data an outlier, the same algorithm you can use it to define. It doesn't matter. Like right now, I have taken for any sequential data a moving mean method. Okay, and I have told that any data greater than 50% of say that moving mean value or the average value will be treated as outlier. Okay, so on that basis, I am deciding it. Okay. So again, if I show you a real time application where we generally use such kind of a thing, is again the financial sector, where people generally use this method for detecting all these things. So here you can see, okay, so there are data which are under some bandwidth and there are some spikes. Whenever they occur, there is high chances that the market will going to retain its original form. Okay, so many algo traders who are good in coding, they use such technique to generate an alert for them. Okay, in which time they should enter into the market. Okay, so they have some threshold, say 40% threshold or 50% threshold. Okay, so there are many techniques which you can use it. Yeah. Can we find outlier for our dimension? Yes, 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 you can do it. No, not an issue. Any other doubt? Okay, yeah. Okay. So now we'll continue